Hey there, parents. Everything I read this morning in my daily time section of scripture and just kind of meditation and reading was about the condition of the heart, and everything from Romans 2 to Luke 1 and even some Proverbs that I read this morning. It seemed like the streamline was that Romans was talking about how that man's heart is just filthy and without a sense of direction, without God. I mean, the direction they know, that our hearts know without God, is to basically destroy ourselves through whatever means possible. As I read Luke, Zechariah, who's John the Baptist's dad, ends up having his ability to speak taken away from him during his wife's pregnancy because in his heart he refused to believe what God promised. And then even in Proverbs, there were these instances in the Proverbs where it would talk about an unbelieving heart, or a heart that was greedy, or a heart that was full of folly, and one that desired disobedience, and how all these calamities would come upon this person whose heart was that way. And I just, streamlining all that together for us as parents with our kids. It doesn't matter if you've got a toddler or if you've got a 16-year-old. It's funny that people see the condition of our heart without us really being really expository towards that idea. In other words, we don't have to preach our heart. It comes out through our tone. It comes out through our actions. It even comes out through our silence. As our associate pastor was telling me the other day, and he was kind of giving me some correction on some things, but he was allowing me to see that even in my stone silence, I put out a very large message about what's going on in my heart. And, the scriptures tell us that out of the abundance of the heart, your mouth will speak. We know that. But fruit is really, when we say that, we have a lot of different pictures that come into our head. But fruit is just what comes out, the byproduct of what's happening in you. And a tree, it's an orange tree, has things going in it, molecular structure, cells, and all this stuff happening inside it. And as it begins to do, it produces oranges. And what's inside the tree is what's able to produce oranges, or the lack to produce oranges. And it's the same way with us. There's all these things going on in our heart. And as those things become a more part of our lives or less a part of our lives, or they dictate to us what we do or say or think, and largely what we think, then we start acting a certain way, or we stop acting a certain way, and people can tell very easily what our heart's condition is. And the scriptures tell us what's really cool is that in Romans 2 it talks about that everybody's heart is going to be judged according to Jesus. And so really the only way for our hearts to be in line with God is for them to be submitted to Jesus. And there's so many scriptures I could point out here that just lead us back to that, but especially in Colossians, where the scriptures tell us that our life is hidden with Jesus, and to keep our mind on things above where Jesus is sitting. It's not just a spacious thought or a mindless thought. It's an intentional thought process that says, every moment today, I'm going to be in a frame of mind that my brain is going to be hooked on Jesus, and I'm going to make sure that my life is pleasing to Him in what I do. I'm going to be thankful for the cross and allow that enablement of grace in my life to help me not to sin like I used to. That's a dead part of me. It's no longer alive. It's going to help me interact with people and love them like I love myself. And most of all, it's going to turn my heart towards God and giving Him glory and honor in everything that I do. And so I just really wanted to share that with you today. Where's your heart at? And it's really an easily solved dilemma. The process of working it out sometimes can get tricky, but the solution is always Christ. The solution is always the gospel, the good news of Jesus, of what He has done on the cross for us. And so I just really wanted to share that with you. I'm excited this morning. I'm maybe in that fog, sometimes you get in through life where things get hectic and things get crazy, and everybody points out that this time of year is stressful, but it's really not. It's the same as any other time of the year. In fact, some people get a temporal relief in this time of year because there's so much bliss and so much centering around good things. But where is our heart after this time, this season of love and care and grace given to us through Jesus? that this should be a continual thing being worked out in our lives. So I'm encouraging you today in this time out, just take some time, refocus your heart towards God, and then that'll allow you to refocus your heart towards your job, towards your family, towards your kids, towards your friendships, towards your relationships of building faith. And so I just really want to encourage you parents today. You got what it takes, just like that orange tree has the ability to produce oranges. You have what it takes inside of you through the grace of God to produce godly living through the cross and through what He's done for you. So I love you, parents, very much. Thank you for supporting what we do here. Even thank you for supporting that right there. So I love you guys. I'm praying for you today specifically, and I hope that you guys have a great week. Be intentional with your families, lead them, and pray for them, pray with them, and just have fun, have joy in being a parent and leading your kids, because it's a joyful experience. Anyway, love you guys.